Hi, it's David. Let me show you my next project here. I have this grinding wheel. It's made by the Midwest Abrasive Company. It's pretty old, but it looks like it's not terribly, not 1800s old, just maybe early 1900s. And anyway, I wanted to get this thing working more like the old sword grinding wheels, which are treadle based. And I do want a treadle one because I want to have one in case power goes out. And so I have the shaft. I have a secondary shaft in case this one is in too bad a shape. You can see there's some pitting on this shaft here. So I want to make this into a treadle-based system. First, I gotta get some bearings, though. Alright, so this is a pair of dead centers I made earlier this year. It's just a sort of a linear bearing almost of brass, and then it's on contact with a piece of brass that I can adjust and just sort of slide it. And the centers just sort of keep it all in line. It just barely fits this wheel, so right now it's rubbing, but this is on the point of the greatest rub, so hopefully it'll push things out and center it just a little bit more. Because these are two pieces of aluminum, two separate pieces that I'm going to go ahead and just TIG this chunk, make a bead right around there, and then these will sit in bearings, in bearing blocks. And then the pulley belt, will just run around the rim here like a normal pulley will. This seems to be a great way to get gear reduction or belt, I guess, reduction. So I'll be driving this shaft with the pedals or the treadle, and then the belt will run to the smaller pulley up around here, which will then transfer higher speed, lower torque to the wheel, but the wheel will store inertial energy and at higher speed. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Alright, so the treadle grinder is coming along nicely. So now I have the full belt set up. This needs to be tensioned, of course, but I TIG welded some cams from aluminum tubing, or I guess I drilled it out, some aluminum shaft. There's 3 different settings here, but chances are I may need to add another one out here because it's actually got some pretty good torque to get that thing going, but it's a delicate balance between how much torque I need to apply to get this thing to spin the correct speed and deliver the cutting power I need, or grinding power, I guess, and getting it going the correct speed. So either I'll be pedaling madly, or I guess pushing on the treadles madly, or I'll be pushing too slowly, or I'll be pushing the right speed and not have enough torque. So that's why I made multiple settings. I had to lengthen or shorten this cam, so I cut it out and put some all thread in there so I can adjust these if I need to, and put the seat on it just with some standard unistrut. I had these big old beefy angle brackets, and so the idea is that since you're cantilevering it, you're applying force down here, it's trying to pull it that direction, and still stronger in compression than it is in bending or in tension. Well, I don't know, tension's pretty strong, but I can't do that without welding it. So this will force it to compress at this joint right here, rather than trying to put this on the other side and bend it. It'll just flex that plate, which is not the idea. And nice comfy tractor seat. So these are going to be my treadles, just some standard 2x4s. I've already screwed them up once when I had longer cams, and I was planning on having them oriented like this, so I'd have a bolt and the heads countersunk in there, and so then you'd sort of push down like this. But I think I like it better to have a nice wide surface, and then I'll sort of embed the cam in the surface of the wood like that once I cut it out with the chisels. And I guess it'll be like this, and you'll have a nice wide step to push down on. And I'll have it back here with some sort of like an all thread chunk going through the wood. Here's one great reason why you want to use a bracing bit. On wood, man. Almost immediate. Catches, removes the material, done. And the hole is clean, super clean for wood. You should never use metal bit on wood if you can help it. Alright, so it works. Barely. You can see everything running. We'll throw a few sparks. It definitely gets a lot harder. And it's hard to keep my butt in the chair. Let me see if there's something. I think we can do better. Maybe if I put some bicycle pedals in it, I think it'll work better because I have more torque. And just got to remove this though. Hey Max. Good boy. So here it is now with bicycle pedals on it. And it's way easier to work now. Got a lot more torque to it, a lot more power. I can do some serious grinding with it. And I had to shorten up the shaft, so I did that real quick with a bandsaw. And let's see what else happened. Retension, I put this piece of wood up there so I can rest a blade edge up against this. And put that concave cut to it. And I'm going to show you. All I have to do is basically push now. And it's pretty easy to pedal forwards or backwards. The hard part is there's a lot of inertia to it, so it'll try to pull you along. So right now I have it set up to where it'll push into this workpiece. And I think that's pretty good really, because it pushes the sparks away from me instead. So I like that a lot. And the belt's nice and taut. And these are nice and taut, and they're holding on to the grinding wheel well. I think it's a successful project. A little bit shaky, but that part doesn't matter. This thing's getting toasty. You can see I put these cuts in here and I'm working my way towards the center. but it's getting warm. I have to go quench it now. Unfortunately, it's pretty slow still. Looks like it works pretty well wherever there's already a flat spot, but you know, still for moving material. It's all up to you and your feet.